The second question was, what is involved in a vocational assessment? And that's a question that is going to depend on the situation that can vary by situation. Let me just say it that way. So in Memphis, a vocational evaluation or vocational assessment typically has involved really primarily a file review, maybe an interview with the spouse who is hiring a vocational evaluator to get information regarding the other spouse, a record review, and then formulating an opinion based on that information. And from my experience, probably the last 10 years or so, that is the case, because in Memphis, from my perspective, and this would not necessarily be the legal perspective, obviously, is that most people disagree or do not want to complete a vocational assessment, and very rarely does the court compel somebody to do so. So vocational assessment in the Memphis, Tennessee area typically would involve more of a file review of related materials and an expert providing an opinion based on that information. Now, there are other areas that in other parts around Memphis or other parts of the state or parts of the Southeast where that might actually involve a vocational assessment, might actually involve meeting with the spouse or party to conduct an interview, maybe conduct some vocational testing in terms of career interests, career values, and skills if there's an issue regarding skills, usually with the type of people that are involved with a firm like yourself or other firms that would involve a vocational assessment. Assessing educational attainment or skills are not typically an issue, but would involve career assessment. And then that information would be used to supplement or be in addition to the information that would be obtained during the interview and records that are reviewed. So that would be what is involved in a vocational assessment. Now, the other part that would be related to that, what's involved in a vocational assessment, would determine whether or not, and this would be in consultation with the attorney, is do you want a vocational assessment report or not? There are times where a report is requested to be generated, and there are other times where no report is requested to be generated, and that's really at the discretion of the attorney. And obviously, leave it to you all to determine when and why that would be the case, where you'd want to report or would not want to report. So that would be the last part of a vocational assessment. Yes, Miles.
Follow-up question on that. If somebody is meeting with you for assessment, and you're gonna perform some testing usually, correct?
If you're meeting with the person, if I'm meeting with the person, vocational testing could be used. Yes. I would not say all the time, but it could be used.
So for the process, when an opposing party meets with you to go over voluntarily or by court order, how long does that process take?
So I would say typically a typical assessment interview and evaluation would take somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete.